This is First Class, a video magazine of stories produced by the students in the journalism department of Southern Connecticut State University.
First Class, First Class. Southern's First Class.
Hey everybody, it's First Class.
Hi, and welcome to First Class. I'm Gabriela Cuapio, and today we have some interesting stories for you.
I'm Anthony Martirano. Gabriela is right. We have reports on everything from a UConn professor who researches marijuana to a unique meetup with deaf people.
We'll take a look at Southern's media clubs and communication students and let them explain why they do what they do.
But first, let's take a trip to stores with Hunter Lyle. Some call it weed, some call it pot, some call it Mary Jane. This professor calls it research.
Marijuana, cannabis, weed, pot, bud, whatever you call it, UConn Stores has a lot of it as part of the new Horticulture of Cannabis course. This opportunity was made possible from Professor Jerry Berkowitz.
I took an undergraduate class to a cannabis grow facility in Connecticut 2 or 3 years ago, 2016, and it was fascinating for the students, for me, and the owners of the operation were pointing out how they have no connection to universities. They hire people who grew marijuana in their basement, and that's who they rely on. So I sent them a grant proposal. They funded projects in my lab. I had a graduate student. All of a sudden, undergraduates were lined up at the door. So all of those things came together, and I saw a great need. I had undergraduate students who were really excited about this. It was clear that we needed to teach a class in cannabis horticulture.
Steve Jepson, the senior in molecular and cellular biology major, said he enjoys the course and thinks it's important to have since the industry is booming.
The class focuses on actually growing cannabis, large scale or small, understanding pests, understanding pathogens, everything from nutrient deficiencies to when to harvest, to how to harvest, types of media. I feel lucky. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty great. I mean, being able to actually work with the plant, being able to learn from the only accredited institution offering such an opportunity. I could put that on my resume if I really wanted to. So, I mean, it is a matter of getting the opportunity to learn about and speak with industry representatives. That's amazing. I mean, being in the lab is, absolutely amazing. I've gotten the chance to go to the Vermont Industrial Hemp Conference. I got to go to the Connecticut Hemp Industry Association kickoff meeting. I mean, it's been a lot of fun, and I've met a lot of great people.
I've taken the position of, if not at a university, then where? The university should be a place where all of these issues are hashed out. The fact that industry doesn't publish their work, the fact that the cannabis industry has all sorts of unproven products that are being sold and marketed, and the fact that there's no people with horticulture expertise being trained, all of that is not in the public domain. There's not publications about all that. And the United States federal government is not supported research or teaching, so there's this giant gulf between what's going on in the largest agricultural commodity in the United States.
This is Hunter Lau reporting from UConn Stores, signing off.
My name is Joe Boitis, and one way to work on your video making passion is to join the SCSU TV Club on campus. Jared Rhodes stopped by the studio in the Southern Student Center.
SCSU TV is a news station that is run and controlled by students. Cassie Veltri is the general manager of the station.
So SCSU TV is a club on campus, and we primarily give the opportunity to students to be able to learn what it's like to film in a real studio when we film our new shows and our other little shows like Owl That, which is kind of like a comedy skit show. So I'm the general manager of SCSU TV, which is kind of just like the president of it, in terms. And essentially my role is to help with all the other, how do I put this? It's kind of just to help with the rest of the club, is to help them succeed in their best way possible, and leading them along that track. So we have the news group, we have programming, promotions, and tech groups, and it's just kind of aiding them in getting the best out of what they can produce and just figuring that all out together.
SCSU TV gives a taste of the real world experience for students wanting to get into the broadcasting industry or work in movies or making video productions.
So during our general body meetings, we tend to just discuss everything that is upcoming. So if we're going out on campus and helping another group film an event, I know in the past we've done like Southern Idol, Multicultural Center, their talent show, the Drag Ball. If we're ever helping to film any of those events, talking about who can be there, when they can be there, how we're going to set up our game plan.
SCSU TV produces news, entertainment, game shows, sports, and projects. Here's a clip of a recent news show.
There will be no spring concert this semester due to several issues with booking. There will be no performances coming this year. This is disappointing to many, as Southern has held concerts featuring artists such as Big Sean, A Boogie with the Hoodie, Bryson Tiller, and more.
A comedy skit show SCSU TV produces is called Owl That. Ben Palmieri told us what the show is all about.
Owl That is the much more laid back of our two main shows that we do. One was the news show, then the other is Owl That. And it's a spoof of the Nickelodeon show, All That, and it's a skit show where we have different skits.
Soap is great, but you know what else is great? Movies, like Sharknado.
Not really, but I will tell you a good movie.
On Wednesday nights, SCSU TV produces a news show. Palmieri explains his other role.
I'm the tech director for Southern TV. My role is to basically, there's a few things I have to do. I make sure the equipment is in order, everything is where it's supposed to be, the cameras are where they are, the SD cards are supposed to be where they are, the batteries are charged, and if someone needs help setting things up, I help them out. And I also have 2 tech assistants to help me out.
And students are able to join SCSU TV as a paid member or as a freelance writer or anything SCSU TV needs help with. Meetings are held Wednesdays right here in the Adante Student Center in room 306, and that is happening Wednesdays at 1:10. Reporting from the Student Center, I'm Jared Rhodes.
Film students Cassidy Maciel, Jonathan Myers, and Trevor Palmer have big plans for their film careers. They tell reporter Damaris Garcia how communication classes at Southern have helped them build a foundation.
Film, television, and video production students give you a behind-the-scenes look on what filmmakers do. Cassidy Maciel explains why she enjoys being a communication film student.
Live television, that's what I want to work in. There is scripting that goes into it. There's working and coordinating between talents. You have like a news producer, you have like the head producer, the executive producer, you have like the director. They're all working together. I'd say the comm department helped because going into this, I never knew what a film and a television degree meant. In my mind, like it was just working with cameras and then just working with talent. I never knew how much goes into a production. So I also love like being in front of the camera just as much as being behind it. Being a communication student is it's going to be not what you expect. Kind of expecting group work, but not knowing how much goes into it. You're going to need to learn how to go out and make your entire package by yourself, film it, edit it, script it, plan your interviews by yourself. You're going to love every second of it just as much as you're going to hate every second of it because you go in with all these grand ideas. Some of them you'll be able to do right off the bat, and some of them you're not going to be able to do, and you're going to have to hold on to them for however many years. But those are going to be your best ideas.
Sophomore film student Jonathan Myers tells us about his career goals for film.
I really want to make movies, but I would be just as happy settling for a job working in the news area. I really like the creative aspect of it. I like seeing stuff go from an idea in my head to a script to an actual finished product. My end goal is to write those stupid, cheesy sci-fi movies on the Sci-Fi Channel, like the Asylum original movies. Communication field means to me, it means getting a message to people, be it for entertainment purposes or for informational purposes. As your film is your child, that you start with at inception, it comes onto the paper. I just love that process, and I love putting my blood, sweat, and tears into something, into this creative art piece, and I just love it.
My name is Trevor Palmer, communication major, concentration in film, television, and digital production, and I'm a senior. I would love to work for a marketing agency and do their commercials or advertisement, focusing on their film and digital production. Communication is definitely just learning how to connect with people and express your ideas through different mediums. Seeing the outcome and the finished product and seeing how people react to it and how they enjoy/dislike or just their emotions about a finished product and see what their emotions are about it. It's definitely provided a lot of opportunities through the classes, and getting to connect with different people and meeting new people has definitely helped express new ideas and find new ways to communicate.
Film, television, and video production students find their passion through film. This is Damaris Garcia, reporting from Southern.
Hi, I'm Faith Williams. Clinton residents can now obtain a shellfishing license ending a 35-year hiatus. Some town natives worry the changes will affect traditions created by more than 3 decades of illegal shellfishing. William Aliu sticks his toes in the sand to give us the scoop.
Residents of the bluefish capital of the world, Clinton, Connecticut, have been given a deep-sea treat. April 1st marked the end of a 35-year ban on recreational shellfishing in the town. The end of this long hiatus has allowed the town to open clam and oyster beds for limited-time seasons. Sharon Uricchio, Clinton's town clerk, says that the number of residents visiting town hall to register for their licenses quickly reached double digits in April.
25 to 27, I have to go and count, but about 25 we'll say. April was the first month it was open, so the state determines when our beds are open and when they close. So this is just an initial being open for April. They did make us close the beds the end of April, which will open up again in December, and then they close the end of December for the year.
A specified map of the regions you can and cannot shellfish is located in the town hall, but can also be found on clintonshellfish.org, as the video screen grab shows here for reference.
For clamming, yeah, they give us a little gauge, which looks like a O-ring pretty much, and as long as the clam doesn't fit through that, you can keep it. And they have different limits. I think you get a half a bushel depending on the day. Different limits for different shellfish.
These areas are marked with clearly visible signs, keeping the confusion at a minimum. However, some residents have been ignoring these signs and laws on purpose for over 3 decades. Lenora Aiello, a resident that grew up on West Road in the Harbor View Association section of Clinton, admits her family has enjoyed shellfishing in her backyard since she was a child, and they simply never stopped.
We are so used to eating fresh clams and fresh seafood that we just never stopped.
And her reasons go beyond traditions from her past.
Honestly, because we never thought it was polluted. And some of the reasons being, they took oysters from the rivers and they purged them right there at that house. When I was younger, we used to be able to get the blue mussels by the buckets on the rocks. They were in between the rocks and then lost all the mussels. Couldn't get a blue mussel. And I would say in the last 7, 8 years, all the blue mussels are starting to come back. Again, that to me is a sign of better water, cleaner waters and stuff like that.
But with the return of legal clamming, Mrs. Aiello is worried about how the change will affect their summer traditions of digging for clams.
My worry this year is, because now there's somebody watching what you're doing, are we still going to be able to do what we did? Because now there's somebody watching. So they're watching. They're watching.
From Clinton Harbor Beach, this is William Aliu reporting for SoCo 14 News.
You're watching First Class, stories from journalism students at Southern Connecticut State University.
First Class, First Class, Southern's First Class.
Hi, I'm Damaris Garcia. For over 40 years, Southern's radio station has been a fixture on campus. It boasts a variety of student-hosted shows and a bunch of notable alumni. Anthony Martirano ventured up to the second floor of the Donnie Student Center to give us a peek.
Hello, you are currently tuned in to Boston Banter here at...
The day is just starting at WSIN radio station. Sports director Patrick O'Neill explains what that means to him.
So it just depends on the kind of day it is. I mean, if it's a day where I got a show or a game to broadcast, then I'll get in here probably an hour or two before I need to be here, and then I don't know, just prepare, screw around, hang out with friends, and this is really a cool place to hang out. So I try to spend as much time here as possible because it's a lot of fun.
Austin Elliott talks about how he became a host and also comments on the station's atmosphere.
I got into radio back in high school when I was introduced to, like, you know, those old Art Bell late night shows. And I got hooked on it. I was like, man, this sounds like a lot of fun. I want to do this. And I went through you know, like the freshman orientation here on campus, and I found the station and signed up for it as soon as I could. Had a shadow a couple times and wound up getting my own show. It's been a lot of fun. Everyone here seems to like me. I'm here a lot. I'm here pretty much daily at this point.
Music director Andrew Hans details the process of creating your own show.
So basically, how you get a show is you just submit a form, you fill that out with your show name and a basic description of your show and tell us what you want to do and where you want to be. Then after that, you just have to shadow 2 shows, which is basically 2 hours of shadowing. Prove to us that you've shadowed those shows, and then before you can get on the air, you just have to do a quick poster which shows everyone what your show is going to be about, when it is, and then you also have to do a quick promo, which is just a short audio clip that will play during the auto DJ that tells everyone what you're doing on your show. It could be funny, it could be serious, it's whatever you like it, whatever your show's personality is.
Student Chloe Lacey tells us about her show.
University. It's called Boston Banter. We pretty much play a lot of fun, alternative, or indie music, and do a little bit of talking, anything new that's going on during the week here at Southern, or just in general. And every week I also do a cow joke on my show, so if you like jokes, definitely come and tune in to Boston Banter every Wednesday at 1 p.m.
Southern alumni Eric Urbanowicz talks about the insight he gained from WSIN.
One of the things that I picked up on when I made the transition from WSIN radio to 99.1 PLR to the Talk of Connecticut WDRC is that the basics are always important. That you need to know the timing, that you need to know the content. I mean, yes, you can add all the humor, you can add all the details, but if you don't know the basics, the enunciations, the timings, then you're not going to do very well. I mean, it's easy enough for someone to make fun of somebody for doing something stupid, but to be able to report something is an entirely different beast. It's a little more complicated.
General Manager Gerald Isaac talks about his responsibilities and hopes for the station's future.
Just knowing, as it sits right here, the budget, knowing like what could be spent on what, trying to get people's opinions so that we could just better the radio station. So as the general manager, I'm basically the one that just like dabbles in every field and tries to improve the radio station before I leave. That's pretty much it.
You can listen to the station at wsinradio.org or 1590 AM. Reporting from Southern, I'm Anthony Martirano.
Hello, I'm William Aliu. Members of the American Sign Language Club of Fairfield County met in a Darien Starbucks to socialize with deaf and hearing people. They get to know each other and play games. Jamari Hughes was there and brings us the sign.
Members of American Sign Language Club of Fairfield County gathered at a Starbucks in Darien, Connecticut, to people as well as those who are hearing. Among the attendees were the hearing, Emily Wood and Jean Wang, the deaf, Paul and Terry Demedy and Irving Gaines, and Michael McDonald, who is hard of hearing. Gaines has been organizing these types of events since 2017. One activity included came from a book called Learn to Sign the Fun Way, where someone picks a category and each person signs an appropriate word that begins with the respective letter of the alphabet. Participants also described the event in one word each. Gaines and Demedy explained how they order their food and drinks when they go out. Wood, an ASL student at CCSU, says she wanted to attend because she loves the emotion and expressions and the energy that comes with signing.
That's fine. This one, I don't do that. We want to do it, but anyway, I'm going to extend California. For sure.
It's a fun time for hearing and deaf people to chat and learn. For hearing, like me, I shouldn't be talking. Like me, to learn and meet deaf people. So we're here playing games, chatting. It's a nice time.
Thank you for being with us. I'm Hunter Lau. Have you ever thought about running away to the circus? Well, it turns out it might not be as far as you thought. Jenna Steppelman reported from a circus and acrobatics training facility in Woodbridge.
Tucked away in the industrial area of Woodbridge, Air Temple Arts and Anastasia Strange have been teaching students aerial acrobatics for over 10 years.
So I did circus in college and really loved it, and I wanted it to continue to be a part of my life. So when I graduated, I started taking aerial silks classes, which was something I had wanted to do for a very long time, and fell completely in love with it and became very serious about it, but then moved to Connecticut, and there was nowhere to do aerials in Connecticut. So I was driving 2 hours each way to Vermont once a week to take private lessons, which got to be very exhausting very quickly, and eventually decided that after doing a teacher training and really enjoying it, that I might like to teach. And so I started teaching at a gymnastics gym, and then decided to look for my own space. We also offer Lyra classes, so that's the aerial hoop, Chinese pole, aerial sling, aerial rope, and a bunch of youth classes as well. So we actually at this point have all ages. Our youth program has really exploded this past year. It used to be pretty small, and now we have upwards of 20 youth students a week, and I would say we have about like 40 to 60 adult students, most of whom are in their 20s or 30s. Classes are about $27, including tax, per class. But you know, the other day I had a mom come in, and when I told her the price, she said, "What, that's it?" So I think it really just kind of depends on who's taking class. No, you don't need any sort of experience or upper body strength to start classes. That's very important to us that we make aerials as accessible as we can to everyone. Our classes start with the assumption that you cannot lift your own body weight at all, that you can't hold your weight in the air, that you don't really necessarily have any sort of athletic background. And a big part of our goal is to build the strength and self-confidence to help get you up to where you need to go, and we do that really slowly. I would say just sign up. Don't second guess yourself. Be really gentle with yourself, because everyone that has been doing this for a while is going to make you feel like you're never going to get there, but everybody who does it started at the same place that you are. So just dive right in with both feet, because it's probably going to be one of the best decisions that you've made.
Chris Strange, a co-owner, found an interesting way of getting into the business.
I married the owner, and I'm the only person who knows how to do Chinese pole. I saw Chinese pole being done in a show, and I thought it looked amazing. I also juggle pretty much anything. It's a great way to get strong. You don't have to be, crazy athletic to get into it. They're very approachable for an average person.
I'm Trinity Urban. I'm originally from Pennsylvania, so I'm a little bit older than a lot of people here. I'm 41, and so I used to do Bikram yoga like religiously, and then I had a child, and to go back to that, it was like a very unfriendly, kind of competitive, even though it was unspoken competition. When you're sleep deprived and you're working full time and you have kids, it's hard to get motivated to go to the gym. I mean, just do it. I think that you shouldn't be intimidated. What is really nice with silks is that it's very gradual. So, and it's amazing how much strength you can build. I don't do anything except aerials, and like all my muscles come from like lifting your body in the air.
It seems here at Air Temple Arts, if you use your imagination, you can soar in more ways than one. Reporting, I'm Jenna Stuffelman.
Hi, I'm Jared Rhodes. Immigrant children face a number of obstacles when they attempt to get a college degree, but hard work and grit helps them through. Gabriela Quapio talked with several recent college graduates who have achieved a piece of the American dream.
It's spring, which means college graduation is approaching and students on campuses are getting ready to walk the stage. For 3 Latino graduates, obtaining a degree came with some extra challenges. They all share being first-generation college graduates. 25-year-old Brian Gonzalez, son of immigrant parents, says that his parents' major goal was for him to pursue a career, although it was difficult for them to provide information that he needed.
Applying for FAFSA or even just applying for colleges was a difficult task because they weren't able to help me much, and I kind of just had to extract all that information from them to put it into all the applications, and I kind of had to do it all by myself.
Gonzalez obtained his bachelor's degree in architectural engineering from the University of Hartford in 2015. He looks forward being a form of guide for his younger brother.
Now I can be that figure for him to look up to and to help him out during the whole process.
He works for Patrick & Architect firm as an architectural designer in New Haven. For Fairfield University graduate Isareli Mendieta, not being born in the U.S. brought her many disadvantages during her time in college. They included not having a social security.
A lot of the opportunities I wanted to do, like internships, study abroad, would require for me to have a social. So I would have to kind of not be able to take advantage of everything that my school had to offer.
When Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals was introduced in 2012, it gave Isareli the opportunity to apply for jobs in her field.
I applied to Clifford Beers, where I was able to get a position as a care coordinator at that time. And it was difficult because a lot of my coworkers already had years of experience doing what basically I was doing.
Isareli says her tough experiences have shaped her into the person she is today.
Being kind of a first-generation graduate, I think that we are given a lot of responsibilities very young. We translate for our families due to the language barrier. We are kind of the people who lead the way for our brothers, so we have to research like the whole college process. So that fortunately gave me an insight in how to do my job now.
Jessica Flores says the efforts her parents made to get her into the University of New Haven motivated her to reach for success.
I feel that if I failed or let my parents down, that would have been worse than failing on my own. There was no option to fail. I had to graduate, I had to get good grades, and I knew I had to get a very good job in order for them to know that I appreciated everything they did up to that point for me.
Jessica's mother, Teresa Diaz, says she feels extremely proud of her daughter's achievements. I feel happy to know that she was able to reach her goals. She always says that her career is not only hers but mine as well, and that makes me feel really happy to see that I was able to guide her into obtaining a college degree and to know that she is now able to defend herself in life. Jessica says she feels confident that now she and her fiancé will be able to provide guidance to their future children as well.
Despite of all the similar obstacles that these graduates faced, they all feel very grateful for their experience, and they want to continue growing in their career. Reporting for Southern, I'm Gabriela Cuapio.
That's our show for today. Thank you for spending your time with us. I'm Anthony Martirano.
And I'm Gabriela Cuapio. We appreciate you being here today. Take care, and remember to keep it first class.
Bye. Hey, I like what you did with the thing and the standing there and the...
You've been watching First Class, a news magazine produced by students in the journalism department of Southern Connecticut State University. Thanks to Kevin Lewis for mixing the theme music for Southern's First Class.